EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchich here with your outlook for February 7th, 2025. It is Friday, end of the work week. Another loaded video here for you again on this Friday. The Friday video forecast is proudly sponsored by McCall Collective Brewing. McCall is a family-owned and operated brewery with two locations in the Lehigh Valley. Their original Southside Allentown location is at 102 East Susquehanna Street, and their second location, McCall Collective Tap House in Trexlertown, is located at 7743 Hamilton Boulevard. Both locations are open 7 days a week and have a full food menu, plenty of beer to choose from for both dine-in or takeout, along with local wine and cocktails. McCall's is featuring weekday specials every Monday through Friday, beginning with a lunch combo from 12 to 4 p.m., happy hour specials from 4 to 5 p.m. and a smash burger and fry special from 5 to 9 p.m. For more details about that and all of their upcoming events, visit their Facebook page, or to place online orders, visit their website, mccallcollectivebrewing.com. Proud sponsors of the Friday video forecast. So today is actually going to be not too bad, mostly sunny, and we're going to have a cold front moving through early in the morning, and because of that, we have a little bit of cold air advection working through, and that means we're going to have some windy conditions today. So not crazy wind, but 15 to 25, some gusts that are going to be generally 25 to 30 for most. A few spots might get in the low to mid 30s, especially in elevation down here in the usual spots across south central Pennsylvania, Lancaster, Harrisburg, those areas. But most of you will see peak gusts 25 to 30 today. Once we get to late in the afternoon and towards sunset, this is going to disappear very quickly. Here's the wind just disappearing really quickly. As soon as you get close to sunset, it diminishes and then it goes away. So we won't be dealing with wind for the next system that's coming in here, which is our overrunning system. And this is another gradient overrunning system like we had a couple days ago, or actually just ended yesterday morning, right? But this is going to be a little bit more wintry at the onset, a little bit more snowy and a little more snow and sleet at the onset than we had on the last one. There was very little snow. They had to go to the far northeastern portions of northeast PA and far northwestern New Jersey to get any kind of snow at all, really. It was mostly a sleet fest that we had from this. This one, I think, has a little bit more punch of snow on the front end, especially for those areas I just mentioned, because they're going to probably remain snow in its entirety or pretty close to it in those areas for this particular wave. This one's a little bit further south than the last one. This last low pressure was cutting up over well to the northwest of our region. That's why it invited so much warm air all the way up into the capital district of New York. So it was quite a wintry system that we just had, but most of the areas in our southern areas got a lot of freezing rain out of it, right? So we have snow at the onset going over to sleet, freezing rain, but this is likely going to stay frozen all the way down to, and in some cases, past I-95. You might get a little bit of rain here in our far southeastern areas, but it won't be much. Let's get over the NAM high-res future simulated radar. I'm going to start this off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, and this is what we have. You have this mess down to the south here that's going to progress northward. So we get to about mid to late afternoon, you start seeing some snow breaking out across or at least on the front end. But you see how far south this is getting? It's getting all the way down here, right? So it starts off as snow pretty far south. You're going to get some accumulation of snow at the onset, even into interior southern New Jersey, it looks like, before this changes over to sleet. And you can get a couple hours of snow out of this before it changes over. And then further north, you see it's the snow spreads over. This is going to be in the evening hours on Saturday that is going to spread into northeast PA. You see a large area of sleet here and freezing rain to the south indicated by the purple. And it does change to rain in the southern two-thirds of Delaware and coastal southern New Jersey. However, as we move this forward, you can see as we go through the overnight period, this is going to be done before dawn on Sunday, right? This goes to the overnight period, and it remains frozen northwest of I-95 at a minimum, okay? But you see these areas far north, they don't even change over. It's going to stay snow for the most part. You might have some sleet pellets mixing in here late, but the majority of that is just ending as snow. That snow and sleet will continue all the way up into places like the Lehigh Valley into central New Jersey, and then we'll have a brief changeover to some freezing rain there before it ends. But elsewhere, we're looking at this is not a major event. I mean, this is going to be, kind of an appetizer for the next one coming. Just not as much freezing rain with this one. I think the freezing rain is going to be confined to just our southern areas, far southern Pennsylvania out here into maybe over the Philadelphia area. Parts of interior southern New Jersey might change over to freezing rain there. But aside from those areas, it might end as a little bit of freezing drizzle across places like the Lehigh Valley and parts of New Jersey. But these far northern areas might just remain snow for this. So there might be some significant snowfall in those particular areas. And we did put a map out yesterday, but this wasn't in the traditional sense. This is more probability based because there was still some uncertainty with how far southwest this snow gets. And I really like what we did here for the opener. And credit my guys on the team for kind of putting this together last minute here. But I mean, this is a probability-based area. This area in A is most likely to see the highest concentration of sleet from this event coming, and it's going to likely change to rain in those areas. Freezing rain, if not rain in southern New Jersey and the southern two-thirds of Delaware. The area B here, it looks like it starts as snow, at least briefly, and then changes over to sleet, freezing rain. Area C could snow for a couple of hours, all right? You could get minor accumulations of snow, maybe like a 1 to 2, 1 to 3, right? And these aren't our official numbers we're putting out on the map, but just to give you an idea. We use the word a few inches of snow at the onset. That's like an inch or 2 or 3 maybe, right? So area D is several inches of snow possible. That could be more like a 3 to 5 up in these areas that hold on to the snow a little bit longer and then just go over to sleet, not freezing rain. And area E up in the northeastern corner of Pennsylvania, including the Poconos and including northern, northwestern New Jersey, could be in for a significant snowfall when that means probably 5 or 6 inches, maybe even more than that in a few spots. Okay, so that's what we're kind of dealing with this particular system. We'll have our first maps out with actual ranges, and we're going to do the same thing we did before where we have snow and sleet on the same map because they both accumulate. We're going to have the ice, freezing rain on a separate map because that accrues, but that should just be mainly limited to the southern areas for that is what it's looking like. So now going past this is the latest GFS I'm running that I'm showing you this evening. The next system is going to come in is going to be on Tuesday. Now we have a early clouds on Sunday for Super Bowl Sunday. Early clouds giving way to sun, so there should be no issues during the day. We'll be above freezing, so any of the road should be okay too on Sunday. If you have any Super Bowl parties to go to, Monday we'll call it partly to mostly cloudy, but still kind of chilly for this time of year or cold for this time of year. This next system on the latest GFS is keeping this system largely south, and this is probably hear moans and groans when people are watching this run come in. I mean, this is a big difference from just the 6 hours prior. If I go to the previous run here, it was quite the hit across our area. With this particular system. So it's the new run's a little flatter, more progressive with it. This is a GFS bias to do this kind of thing. It's a lot weaker, a lot more progressive, and that's why it's doing that. I'm not so sure the boundary is going to be this far south. It is going to come south for the week, the early next week period in the wake of our weekend system that I was just talking about. It's going to lower the heights behind it and crush this boundary a little bit, but I just don't know it's going to be that crushed. Okay, I don't think that's going to be correct. One of the things I caution that against that for is because the European model is still showing a solid hit to our region. Now, this isn't a major storm, but it could, if it's remaining all snow, it could be something that turns into a 3 to 6, 4 to 8 type deal. And it's all snow. You don't have to worry about this wintry nonsense we're dealing with. And it's not going to. It doesn't matter that this isn't going to be a big storm or presumably, because you have several in the pipeline after this. Now, the European ensemble, this is why I'm throwing a little caution to the GFS being this far south. The European ensemble is really locked in on a bigger hit right in this area. And this is an ensemble mean showing 4 or 5 inches of snow. If it's on a mean that high, that's pretty telling. And the position of this is obviously further north than what the GFS has. So we have a couple days to look at this here. I wouldn't get latched on to any single particular run, even the ones that look like this that's really smoking everybody here with a bigger storm. It's possible, but with so many of these pieces of energy running around and not knowing exactly where this gradient boundary that's responsible for this is going to set up, it's hard to really latch onto one idea and say, yep, that's going to be it. That's exactly how it's going to work. I do think there's going to be snow that day. Just a matter of who's going to get the best and heaviest snow. That still has to be determined. I do think that as far as timing is concerned with this, we go back to the current run, we can look at that too. It's still, if you have timing on this, we're looking at generally Tuesday afternoon through the overnight is what we're dealing with for the timing of this. Preliminarily, the timing might change. But after this point, I mean, there's several other opportunities. You got another one coming here on Thursday. This could be a snow event, could be a wintry mess again. Again, it's going to depend on where that gradient boundary is. This one, the particular run was a little further north. The last run was further south. So, I mean, there's a lot of different possibilities with that boundary. It's wherever it is at that right time when this comes in, right? And then it has some more. This is really one continuous storm here. It looks like Tuesday, or excuse me, Thursday. This is like a coming in, yeah, Thursday and going all the way into Friday morning. And then guess what? There's more waves behind that. Another opportunity here around mid-month or just after. So that would be the following weekend. So there's a lot of them. There's a parade here lining up here. What I think I'm going to do, I actually know I'm going to do because I started doing a preliminary for the long-range outlook that I do every Friday. I have so much going on Friday morning, and I was like thinking to myself, I'm not going to have any time to do the long range on Friday at all. So I started putting the meat and potatoes of the outlook together. So I'm going to do some final things to update here in the morning so I can publish it and be done with it. I will tell you that we're going to have the winter storm signal period we highlighted between the 11th and 14th. Well, that's one or two. It looks like two different storms within that period. So that's going to just be moved to the actual storm category or winter storm. I'll probably put a winter storm signal up here for around this mid-month period, somewhere between the 15th and 18th, and just call it a day because there could be one or multiple during that particular time frame that we're dealing with again. So there's just going to be a parade of storms. We know the moisture is going to be there. We need the moisture no matter how we get it, whether it's in rain, sleet, freezing rain, or rain, or snow, whatever. It's all going to, at the end of the day, melt, and we're going to have that beneficial rain that we need to catch up a little bit from the deficits that we have been in for several months now. So we're going to catch up. That I do think we're going to be above average this month and solidly above average in precipitation. And this is one reason why we have this parade of storms every 2 to 3 days coming in here that are going to affect the region. So we're going to continue to watch this one next. Right now, I'm really focused and trying to do this one at a time and focus on this one and exactly what we're going to be dealing with this. We will have maps out for this at 5 o'clock on the weather alerts page on our website, and we will link to social media when it is ready at that time. These are going to be the first maps with actual ranges, not just probability-based stuff like we are dealing with today. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for February 7th, 2025. Have a great Friday.